All right, Miss Aguilar, if you can come down, please. And this is Criminal Trial Division. All right, Miss Aguilar, today is your plea deadline date. Are you requesting a jury trial? All right, state, this is a drug case. How long do you expect the trial to last? All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date for Miss Aguilar, 2 days. All right, it'll be November 4th in Impact Court.
Sure.
All right, they'll bring you over dressed for trial. And they'll bring you over in the clothing that you have at the jail. If you wish to be attired in something different, let your attorney know. And Mr. Young, if there's an issue with the clothing exchange, let the court know.
There shouldn't be, Your Honor.
You actually want to do this?
On my best.
You actually want to do this?
Because I'm salvation army on the south side.
Mhm.
We have to make a trip of
You know what? I used to go to J.C. Penney's. One time I went to, well, the first time I was a brand new attorney, I went to Dillard's. I said, my client will be looking beautiful, right? And I submitted the bill to the court and the court was saying, Stephanie, this is too much money. Next time, don't do that. I'm like, okay. But how was your one? All right, are the parties ready on Adam, Stacy?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, parties will come down. Where's Mr. Stacy? Court is calling 2022 CR 7131 and 2023 CR 0036, State of Texas versus Adam Jean Stacy. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Andrew Cruz.
Are you Mr. Stacy? And each of the cause numbers, did you review the documents entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision and First Amendment Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand them? Are you the same Adam G. Stacy who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 7131 for the offense of theft $2,500 to $30,000 on October 29, 2023 for a term of 5 years? Is that you? Are you the same Adam G. Stacy who was placed on community supervision in 2023 CR 0036 for the offense of assault family second offense on October 30th, 2023 for a term of 5 years? Is that you? State?
Yes, Your Honor. Finally, okay, I think it's gonna be the same on each of the cases, Your Honor. It's gonna be the number one on the first amended.
All right. You may proceed.
Violent condition number one, on or about the 10th day of June 2024, there's Texas, Adam G. Stacy committed the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle in violation of 1591.
And each of the cause numbers, how do you plead to that allegation? True or not true?
What way to remain violated?
Any objections? All right. And the cause number ending in 7131. Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number one, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $500 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number one? And the cause number ending in 0036. Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number one, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 5 years in prison and up to a $0 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number one? And each cause number, the court will find violation of condition number one true, Is there a proposed agreement and the cause number ending in 7131?
Yes, there is, Your Honor. That is to extend, deny the motion, extend the individual for 1 year and to amend his conditions to include state ISF, cognitive tract, ISP supervision for after treatment, weekly UAs for 60 days upon release, and an MRT. And also, Your Honor, the state will be taking into consideration clause number 2024 PF 02689, which is the UUMB. The judge, we are asking for restitution in that case, if any, to Adam Lee, which is, first name is Andy, sorry, Judge. Last name is spelled Nguyen. And also an individual by the name of Ruth Morales, last name is Morales.
All right. The court is not inclined to follow this agreement unless there's a reason why I should. He's on probation. And I know the state has only proceeded on one violation. Has he done anything on probation? Probation? Any objection to the court reviewing the court summary?
How much mistake, Your Honor?
Judge, I can answer your question.
Yes.
It doesn't look like Mr. Stacy has made any progress on the terms of his probation.
And it's saying here that you still have criminal thinking and criminal behaviors. I don't think probation is appropriate for you. You've been given a chance. I know that when you come to this court, if there are issues, you can let the court know. They tried to conduct field visits with you, but that it was a bad address. They made due diligence to contact you through your associations. You didn't show up for your TAP interview. They sent text messages. Let me see. Text messages were sent to report to avoid a violation. So they were working with you. Email was also sent. It says no response. Then they sent another text message, no response. Then they scheduled a new appointment and sent a text message to you. And yes, you haven't appeared for anything. You haven't done anything. I'm not going to continue you.
Can I address that, Judge?
Yes.
I've talked to my clients and we've discussed that. We've discussed the issues he had while he was on probation. One of the things my client and I and state and I discussed was my client has a decent amount of back time accrued on his case. He and I discussed the possibility how if he were just to get revoked on these cases with his back time, he may be able to get parole sooner rather than later. And he expressed to me that he would prefer for us to go up and ask the court for another chance. And what he expressed to me, I think, was a sincere desire to try to use the services that probation has to try to benefit himself and to try to use those services as opposed to doing a little bit more time and flipping out on parole. We understand those services had already been made available to him and he didn't take advantage of them. However, I think him being in custody this time was sort of a wake-up call for him. And I think he has a sincere desire to try to change his life and to try to better his life and sort of break the cycle he was in. So that was sort of my client's thinking, as opposed to possibly taking maybe the easier way out in some aspects and getting flipped out on parole sooner rather than later. He would prefer to wait in jail for a bit, go to therapy and try to address some of these issues in a residential environment with the hope that that would put him on the right path so that he could successfully complete this probation and become a productive member of society.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. And cause number 2022 CR 7131. Court is going to grant the motion. This will run concurrent with 2023 CR 0036. Court will order mental health and therapeutic community. You'll need to request that at the prison. It does not increase your length of time that you're in custody, but it can help address other issues you may have. Take in consideration 2024 PF 02689. There should be no contact and restitution to Andy Nguyen and Ruth Morales. The court is going to sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. There's a $500 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. Next, we're going to proceed with 2023 CR 0036. The court is going to grant the motion. The court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with, I'm sorry, what was the previous cost number?
22 CR 7131.
All right, this will run concurrent with 2022 CR 7131. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. The court will recommend the therapeutic community and mental health unit. There's to be no contact with Melinda Kenny, Kenney. Court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison. I'm sorry, I previously stated that. There's to be restitution and no contact with Andy Nguyen and Ruth Morales. All right, we can go off the record. So, Mr. Stacy, I understand sometimes people open their minds and that they want to get help after they get a motion to revoke. Probation continually tried to reach out to you to get you back in compliance, and you haven't done anything on probation. At some point in time, consequences have to happen. You understand? All right, good luck to you, okay? All right, thank you. All right, who's here on Sergio Chavez? All right, the court is calling 2023 CR 7420, State of Texas versus Sergio Chavez. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Good morning, Judge. Alfonso Cabañas for the defendant, Sergio Chavez.
And are you Mr. Sergio Chavez?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I have to learn how not to pronounce the G now. All right. And we have an interpreter here today. If you could raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I agree, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Norma New.
All right. Counsel, do you speak Spanish fluently?
I do, Your Honor.
And have you been able to inform your client of these documents in the Spanish language?
Yes, Your Honor, I have.
Mr. Chavez, all of the documents I'm going to review with you are in English. Were those documents explained to you in Spanish?
Yes.
And did you understand them?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
I have, Your Honor.
Did you review it with your client?
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated with a child under the age of 15?
Yes.
It's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
Right. So you're saying that you were promised that you would be released?
Yes. Probation.
So you entered into agreement with the state for probation, correct?
Yes.
Anybody promise you anything other than the fact that you have an agreement with the state for probation?
No,
Are you a U.S. citizen?
no.
All right. Defense, have you had a chance to discuss the implication a plea in this case will have on your client's immigration status?
Yes, Your Honor, on at least two occasions, my client and I met with Justin Tullius, the immigration attorney for the MAC office. He reviewed the file with my client and I, and he went over all of the immigration consequences with my client. After that review, we decided to move forward with the plea that we have before the court.
All right, Mr. Chavez, did you have sufficient time to discuss the implications of your plea in this case with an immigration attorney?
I haven't contacted him anymore because he already filed the petition.
All right, so here's my question. Do you understand what could happen to you if you enter this plea? And when I say what could happen to you, I mean the consequences of entering a plea in this case and how it will affect your immigration status in the United States.
Yes, I do understand.
All right, do you understand you could possibly be deported,
Yes,
not allowed to re-enter the United States,
yes, I do understand.
and the denial of naturalization? Did you understand?
Yes,
Are you here in the United States legally?
I am married to an American and we have a year.
All right. All right, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. There's a $2,000 fine, and the state recommends community supervision. Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your term of community supervision be for 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 180 hours of community service restitution, parenting class, and 2-year Texas driver's license suspension. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes,
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
guilty.
State any evidence. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. Court has reviewed the same. The court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, other than my client asked the court to follow the agreement with the state.
All right, the court will sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 3 years, 180 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order the parenting classes. Once you complete that, community service hours will be deemed satisfied. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. There's going to be a TAP evaluation in custody, follow TAP recommendations. My understanding from probation, at most it's 2 weeks. Counsel, if it's more than that, just come back to the court.
Yes, Your Honor.
Field visits 1 time per month for 3 months, then at the probation's discretion. A $2,000 fine, that will be probated. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be a 2-year Texas driver's license suspension. And actually, I'm sorry, the court is going to order a 2-year driver's license suspension. And I'm going to ask for the victim impact panel live and DWI education. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
Okay.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
That's it, thank you.
All right, and I'm so sorry. I'm going to do 40 sober meetings in 40 days.
Yes, Your Honor.
40 sober meetings in 40 days.
Yes,
All right, we can go off the record. You could have killed your child. You cannot drink and drive. Do you understand?
Yes,
While you're on probation, you're not allowed to drink at all. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, if there are any issues, let your probation officer know. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come to the court. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, we do that in English. Oh, let me hit you back with something. Donata. That's all I know.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, who's here on Rita Dela Cruz? Yes, thank you so much. Court is calling 2019 CR 12245, State of Texas versus Rita Amanda Dela Cruz. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Robert Gayona.
And are you Miss Dela Cruz?
Yes.
Did you review the documents entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision? State's motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke probation, and state's second motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision with your attorney. Did you understand it? Are you the same Rita Amanda Dela Cruz who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 12245 for the offense of attempted possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram, on March 10th, 2020 for a term of 2 years? Is that you? State?
Violated condition number 5, in Hood County, Texas, the defendant Rita Amanda De La Cruz did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer in person and or by mail for the months of April and May 2020 in violation of condition 5.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
Your Honor, state waives all the violations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine? Did you understand? Is there a proposed agreement?
Your Honor, there's not a proposed agreement. We're going to go to the court. The state's out 180 days in the jail.
Defense?
She has currently 44 days on this technically charge. We got to just credit time served. Judgment is satisfied. In the alternative, it has to be the term agreement unsatisfactory.
All right, what has she done on probation? Has she done anything?
I don't think that she's done much. Judge, most of the case, according to her, was during the COVID period.
All right, so she's done nothing? All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court will find you guilty. The court is going to grant the motion, revoke you. The court will sentence you to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail, give you credit for any time served. There's a $4,000 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You're going to have to change your life. Otherwise, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to end up becoming an old woman at the Bexar County Jail or either at somebody's prison. And with drug cases, guess what ends up happening? People who sell drugs, they don't care about you. They care about the bottom line, and their bottom line is $1, right? And if you were to end up dying for a drug overdose, they always know they have someone else to replace you. Do you have children? All right. Do you want your children to end up having to identify your body? Because you see in Bexar County every day, somebody's found in the field or in a drug house from a drug overdose. That could be you. And one of your family members will have to go out and identify you. And if you've been away from your children and somebody else has been raising them, do not go there and try to act like you're the mother. Biologically, you're the mother, but you haven't been doing motherly things to them. And children will see what you do. And I know sometimes people think, oh, my children don't know that I'm a drug user. Yeah, they do. And then guess what they end up? They end up thinking that that's okay. And they end up using drugs. You understand? All right, good luck to you. When you're released, if you can't find a place for rehab, guess what? You can come back here to me and I will direct you to a place. I'll pick up the phone and call them. You understand? All right, good luck. Who's here on Michael Hernandez?
Present, Your Honor.
Court is calling 2024 CR 6187, State of Texas versus Michael Daniel Hernandez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel S. Clark, State of Texas.
Defense?
Renee Munoz.
Are you Michael Daniel Hernandez? Keeping it 100?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Correct.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Do you understand you're charged with attempting to take a weapon away from a police officer? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility
Yes, Your Honor.
and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights? Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 6 months in the state jail facility. There are no applications. The state will take in consideration 2024 CR 6188. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
That's correct, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Did you, to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
State officer exhibit 1 on all counts.
No objection.
Right. Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes.
Yes.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We ask that the court follow the negotiated plea agreement, Judge. Nothing further.
All right, Mr. Hernandez,
Yes.
what is your relationship to Joe Hernandez?
That is my brother.
And how old is he?
He is
Approximately.
55,
And how old are you?
40.
And Jonathan Souza, that's the officer.
Yes.
And then who is Antonio Gonzalez? And were you and the brother living at the same location or no? And who lives there?
Officer and my brother.
All right, why are y'all bringing foolishness to her doorstep? People always go back to their mom's house. You all are 2 adult males. And all of this starts over a weed eater.
Yes.
And then he flicks a cigarette at you. And then the officer says, he's there trying to calm everybody down. And he says that you pick up a burrito and you throw it so hard at your brother that he can hear when the burrito hits him in the eye.
Just reaction.
What was in that burrito?
Just the end of the burrito.
What do you mean the end of
Just
the
the
burrito?
last bite, because there was nothing in there.
So you have been eating the burrito
I just cut the glass.
and then you throw it and hit him in the eye with it.
I guess it was just the reaction I got was he goes.
Well, no, but you all are in your 50s bringing nonsense to your mom's doorstep. And I see the tattoos, so I'm sure that signifies certain things. Why are you all grown males living at your mom's home? Why don't you get your own place?
I just got out of Bible school and I just became an evangelist. It was just a wrong timing and I was
Well-
accused of something that I didn't do.
So obviously you don't, but obviously you don't believe in turning the other cheek. You hadn't got that far in the biblical text.
It's the reaction.
Understanding that cigarette phone.
Yeah.
Ways.
I got hit with the cigarette on my face.
One at a time.
I just flickered it, and I meaning to hit him in the face. It was just the reaction I got.
So with regards to this case where he hit his brother in the face with a burrito, is that still outstanding?
Dismissed, Judge.
It was rejected.
So the brother, I guess, had a change
Yes.
of mind, because I'm sure the mom probably said, y'all are my sons, stop this foolishness.
Yes, Judge, I spoke with the brother and he didn't want to proceed with the charge and my client knows that it's kind of a petty thing to have started and I've talked to my client that if a situation like that arises, you get out, you go for a walk, you kind of, deal with stressors in a positive, healthy way. And he's learning that that's going to be beneficial because I told my client if a situation like this happens in the future and the police come, they're going to see his history, they're going to see some of his tattoos, they're going to think the worst, put him in
Yeah.
custody, and he'll be in there for quite a while. So he's cognizant of that, Judge, and he's looking forward to using this as a learning experience.
Yes.
All right, the court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 6 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served, taking consideration 2024 CR 6188. All right, we can go off the record. And Maria, you can shut it down and we will be back. Well, take your time with your lunch. Sir, here's the thing. Do not get into those type of arguments. I'm sure y'all break your mom's heart. Two of her sons are fighting each other. And then obviously that wasn't a good burrito because it was, you wouldn't have thrown it. All right, good luck to you, okay? You're welcome. Oh, is that your mom? All right, mom, don't let him stay at your house anymore. They're grown adult males. They need to do their own thing. The only thing you should be coming to your mom's house to do is mow her lawn and edge it and see if she needs help with anything. All right, good luck to you. Thank you all. Thank you. All right, thank you. So I'm assuming you all are going on 6879, the ag assault?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 06879, State of Texas versus Stephen Allen Raleigh. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, and Your Honor.
Defense,
Brendan Lopez for Mr. Riley.
are you Mr. Raleigh? Counsel, have you received all of the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
We have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Raleigh, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor, on both channels.
Mr. Raleigh, did you review the court admonishments and defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand in count 1 and count 2, you're charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon? That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. You need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Did you understand, if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, the court, if you were revoked, the court could sentence you up to 20 years in prison in each count and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
In my opinion, he is, Your Honor.
Mr. Raleigh, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on counts 1 and 2. Punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 7 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. The state is silent on your applications. They're taking in consideration 2024 CR 006874, 2024 CR 006881, and County Court 12, cause number 7300579. There's to be restitution, if any, to the complainants, Lily Huerto, Frank Hernandez, and Frank Coronado, and that's HUERTO. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
If the dismissal is not signed in cause 7300579, defense, do you consider that a violation of the plea bargain agreement?
I don't, Your Honor.
All right. Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? Only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting no contact with the complainants in this case. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offenses charged in count one, how do you plead?
Content,
Count two, how do you plead?
content.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor, state exhibit number one with office attached.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits one and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty in count one and count two. The court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. All right, so there'll be a TAP evaluation and a MIC evaluation. Mr. Rowley, we will bring you back on October 3rd, and I will base my decision on your application based upon any evidence that's presented to the court. Do you understand? Make sure that you're honest with probation and open about any issues you may have, okay?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Has reviewed states exhibits one and attachments. The court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We'd like to, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, just that he has no prior felony history. We're asking the court to take that into consideration, grant the deferred adjudication from the bench. I do not think you have any issues and we'll never see him again.
All right, if you were granted deferred adjudication, do you have a place to live?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Who would you,
With my mother-in-law and father-in-law.
all right, have you asked them, can you live with them?
Yes,
All right, recently?
yes, I have.
All right. Do you have any children?
No, Your Honor.
All right, why are you not living with your own parents? What's going on?
My mom, she's an elderly woman already, and I'm a grown man. I gotta take care of myself. I can't always depend on my mom, so she has her own life to deal with. So it's just been me and my girl. I've been with my girl 15 years, and
Why don't you have a place to live?
well, I did until when COVID hit, and then I lost my job. Like,
All right,
15
COVID has been,
Yeah, I know, but like 2 or 3 years ago, I had lost my job, and I've been trying to find work. I don't have my ID, my social.
why don't you have your ID or social?
Because from moving from house to house, I had lost my wallet or got stolen from somebody.
So why can't you just get that? I don't understand why.
No documents to say.
Here's
who
the
I
thing.
am.
I don't understand why people just throw up their hands and decide that somebody else.
Says it now.
No, stop.
Sorry, man.
I don't understand why people just throw up their hands and decide as a grown person, somebody else is going to be supporting you. I don't blame your mom for saying you're a grown man. You need to live on your own. How old are you?
I am 45.
All right, you're 45 and now you have your girlfriend you've been with for 15 years. Girlfriend, so you all are not married, and now she's visiting you upon her parents.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I were them, I would say, yeah, you all need to get your own place. And on this probation, you're required to have a job.
Yes, ma'am.
And there are plenty of places that you can work. There's the car wash. I know it's hot. There's McDonald's. There's Whataburger. There's Subway. I walk all the way up and down the street and I see different places wanting people to work. But you know what? Some people are like, that's beneath me.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I do have a job lined up, and it's called WW Woods Premium Barbecue Products. They distribute wood and everything, so I have talked to.
Do you have your ID?
No, but that's what I'm trying to get after I
So
get
how
out.
can you work someplace and you don't have an ID?
I know, Your Honor, but I'm going to get my ID when I get out. I'm going to get everything that I need to. And the person I used to work for him before, he's offering me a job, but I have to get all my documents taken care of, and I will have a job soon.
You haven't had your documents since COVID. I don't understand how now there's a fire under you to get your documents, and how are you going to get them?
I don't live like this anymore. I'm tired of being out in the streets, homeless.
How often have you been using drugs?
I have been using drugs for at least 4 or 5 years, but I'm clean now, of course.
Well, you're clean because you're at the jail.
And I'm willing to stay this way and continue this way because I feel better, a lot better than I've ever felt in years.
Oh.
And I really have.
And does your girlfriend use?
No, she's not using either.
Then why is she with you?
I don't know.
When's the last time she used?
I can't even show you that. I wouldn't be able to answer.
No, I mean, when?
Since that time I got locked up.
Okay. What's her name?
Her name is Jessica Adami.
Jessica Adame?
Yes.
When's the last time she was locked up?
Oh, she's not a bad girl. She's, I don't know, she hasn't been locked up in years.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. There's going to be a $500 fine. It'll be probated. 3 years deferred adjudication. Take in consideration County Court Cause number 727423. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. He's going to remain in custody until the referral is completed to felony drug court. If felony drug court doesn't accept him, he's going to have the TAP evaluation in custody. They tell me that'll be done within 2 weeks. And if not accepted in felony drug court, then it's going to follow all recommendations from TAP. There's going to be 120 sober meetings in 120 days. Field visits 1 time per month for 4 months. Then at probation's discretion, proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider with minors. 80 hours of community service restitution. How far did you go in school?
To the 11th grade.
All right. I'm going to order a GED or either some type of trade school completion. Once he completes either one of those, then the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. There's to be no contact with any apartments located on Snowden Road, SNOWDEN. There's definitely to be no contact with the branch apartments at 7207 Snowden Road, 78240. There's to be no contact with Jessica Adame until further notice. And probation, if he needs a place to stay because they're not recommending inpatient treatment, then he can stay at lifetime recovery. So lifetime recovery if not placed in inpatient. Probation, is there anything else he needs? All right, we can go off the record. Let me just tell you why I'm not allowing contact with Jessica Adame for now. She's used drugs. You've used drugs. You probably used drugs together. You need to get yourself 100% into your sobriety. Otherwise, what's going to end up happening is somebody, your parents who said, we're done, are going to have to identify your body somewhere. Or either her parents are going to have to come home and maybe you and Jessica are using drugs at their house. Their house may get raided, or they may find you all having an overdose at their home. They don't need that. You don't need that. This is your shot to try to get your life in order and get away from drugs.
I
All right.
appreciate it.
You're welcome. When's the first time you started using? What age?
And,
All right. Do you remember a time when you didn't use drugs? All right.
I appreciate you. I really do. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I needed this.
All right. So this is what we're going to do. Now, here's the thing. To be successful on probation in this court, communication is key. I know sometimes people don't want to go to inpatient treatment, but that's probably what you need 100%. So be 100% honest with them. The state wanted you to have probation. Your attorney wanted you to have probation. I'm agreeing to give you probation. So that means that I believe you can do it and I want you to be successful. Okay? All right. Good luck to you. James, Katina. Christopher Ramos, what's going on?
Yes, sir. I conferred with the state. I believe we're at a discovery study. The issue last time was that we do have an indicted case, but we had an unindicted CM case, drug case.
Yes.
Back then, it was not clear whether that CM was a duplicate of the indicted case. Turns out it is not a duplicate.
And what's the allegation? What's the charge?
It's a possession with intent to deliver. Same charge, 4 grams, 200 grams. Now that CM case, they're still waiting on drug labs for that. As a result of these circumstances, the DA has extended a counteroffer. My client wants to think about it and he's asking me to extend it.
How old are you?
51.
You're 51. So let me just tell you how far this is going to be extended. We're coming back on August 22nd. On that date, you need to let the court know whether or not you've reached an agreement. Do you understand? All right. We'll see you on August 22nd.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, there you are.